What's up, you all? Just checking in. The question is, why is identity so important? The first 30 days of this challenge is identity. Second 30 days is purpose. The last 30 days is legacy. So why is identity so important? Because without an identity, you won't be able to have fruitful relationships with anybody. If your identity isn't established, then you're really pretty much aimlessly roaming the earth. You don't really have a purpose, because identity establishes purpose. Who you are determines what you're going to do. So if you don't know who you are, then you can't really accomplish or do anything, which is where I see most men today. They lack identity, which means they lack purpose. Same with me. I was in the same boat. God had to wake me up, from my slumber and tell me how important that my identity was, and not who the world said I am, or friends and family think that I am, or even myself, but who did God create me to be. And so we establish our identity with a relationship with God. It's very important, because most men out here, most men have not conquered their lust, which means their identity is founded in a woman. Their identity, most men, is founded and grounded in a woman. Access to women, getting women, sleeping with women, taking care of women, playing women, whatever it is with women, that's the foundation. This is most men. And so most men spend their whole life chasing after women, never really establishing their identity. Your identity is established with God. It should be God, purpose, then the woman. So think about Adam, right? Adam's identity was established before Eve came along. Adam was Adam before Eve, but Eve was not Eve without Adam. See the difference? A man's identity is with God. A woman's identity is with a man. So you look around today, it's all out of order, because men have made their identity in the woman, much like Adam was taking instructions from Eve. This is where we are today. Adam took instructions from Eve, and that led to the fall of man. So as a man, your identity is established before the woman comes along. You need to know who you are. You must establish who you are. That's what this whole 30 days is about. Identity. Who am I? Who are you? God created us to have dominion over this earth. We were created to have dominion. We were created to conquer. We were created to build. We were created to be a physical expression of God here on earth. That's going to be impossible if you don't have your identity established. Again, identity, the establishment of identity is going to lead to your purpose, because who you are and who you think you are matters. Who you are versus who God created you to be are probably two different people. The goal is for us to get on the same page with God. We need to be who God wants us to be, and that's for us to be great. That's for us to be great. These things in this challenge are to weed out all the excuses. If we're talking about being great, there's no room for excuses. We don't need excuses. All we got to do is do it, and if we fail, guess what? We try again the next time. If we fail, we try again and keep trying and never stop. Because Satan is not going to stop. So if Satan is not going to stop, why are you going to stop? If Satan is relentless, Satan will never stop, ever. He will never stop. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. He is after us. So if Satan never stops, and guess what that means? You can never stop either. That means that you can never stop either. Identity is so important. I'm telling you, it's so important. I look back on my life and I see that I really was walking around aimlessly. I spent so many years of my life messing with women. Women consumed a large amount of my life. The amount of time and energy and effort, women consumed a lot of time out of my life. Just in the past, I'll say 5 years, they haven't. The last 5 years of my life, they haven't. But what did consume the last 5 years of my life was me lacking an identity. That was the problem. And so I couldn't really establish any kind of direction. I couldn't come up with a plan or even a plan of attack. I didn't know who I was. When you start figuring out who you are, you know, guess what? I can do this. God created me to have dominion. I can do this. This is what God created me to do. But you have to go to God and establish that. And it's going to require you all to look in the mirror at yourself, to examine yourself, to look at yourself and see who you really are. Either, I said this, either I'm going to be like Job, I'm going to be like Jacob. Either I'm going to go through it and come out on the other side, or I'm going to just wrestle with God till I get it. Either way, I'm getting it. Either I'm going to go through the storm and come out on the other side, or I'm going to wrestle with God to get it. Either way, I'm getting what I got coming to me. I'm getting what God promised. And really it all boils down to faith. You're going to find that your identity, who you are, is really founded in faith, because you got to trust God. You got to trust what they call the process. God is constantly shaping and molding us. I remember I prayed to God for this moment. I prayed to God, you know, I wanted to be who God wanted me to be. And I remember when I prayed it, I wanted to take it back because I knew. When I prayed it, I wanted to take it back because I knew. I'm telling you right now, when I started trying to better myself, relationships started falling off. It's like, it's crazy how God, when I tell you people started falling off, they started falling off and getting exposed in the process. Hopefully you all are keeping a journal and, you know, tracking your progress, you know, what you're learning. Hopefully y'all are still praying 3 times a day. I mean, you could pray more, you know, fasting 1 day a week, bringing the flesh under subjection. Listen, man, we should be focused on getting stronger and being strong. This guy said this on his video on YouTube. He said, a man should be focused on being strong because everything a man has to do is going to require strength. You got to be strong to be faithful to the Lord. You got to be strong to be faithful to a woman. You got to be strong to be faithful to your gifts, your talent. You got to be strong to do. A man has to be strong to do anything. So we need to focus on being strong. And to me, this 90-day challenge is going to make you stronger. It's going to make you better. And guess what? Nobody's going to care. People only care when you finish. People only care when you succeed. People don't care when you try. People don't care when you fail. Nobody cares about what you're going through in your day-to-day life. They don't care about how hard it is. People only care if you win and you succeed. So I'm telling you all right now that you can do it, and God has great things for you. And I'm not saying that you're going to change the world, but I'm not saying you're not either. You don't know what God has planned for you. So my thing is, don't limit God and don't limit yourself. If you want God to really show up, you got to remove all limits from yourself. If you want God to truly show up, you need to remove all limits from yourself. You know, Master P used to say, no limits. Think about that. Think about what Master P did, and his slogan was, no limit records, no limit. And Master P is still relevant to this day. No limits. If you are a man of God, you need to be walking by faith, because you should already have a conquering spirit. You should be ready to conquer, have dominion. I don't want y'all to give up. I don't want y'all to quit. I just know that identity is so important. And this is what most men struggle with, is identity. They don't know who they are. And everything is out of whack. Once you establish who you are, then you can walk in your purpose. Then you can get the woman. I'm telling you now, if you don't have your identity established, the woman is going to compromise you. I'm just telling you. If you don't have your identity established, the woman is going to compromise you. You got to be established in your identity to lead her. You got to know who you are to lead her, because she don't know who she is. You got to teach her who she is. She don't know. Trust me. You have to teach the woman who she is, because she doesn't know. Trust me. Being a man, you have a heavy burden. You have a heavy burden. A lot of work. You have to have the whole armor of God. You go to that Bible, also they talk about having the whole armor of God, being breakthrough. All that stuff's for men. That stuff is for men. It ain't for the women. All that stuff is for men to be at a certain position, to be able to lead. And it's the woman's job to follow. That's why I tell y'all right now, if a woman is not submitted to God, don't deal with her. If a woman is not submitted to God, she will not submit to you. I'm just telling you. She submitted to Satan. Do not deal with ungodly women. When you meet a woman, if she ain't all the way there, she needs to be a student. She needs to come to you ready to learn, willing to learn. I'm telling y'all, don't do it. Have your identity established, because identity establishes purpose. It goes God, purpose, then the woman. Listen, I love y'all. Hope y'all can be encouraged for this week. Y'all will be able to do great things. I believe in you. I pray for you all. And you all are going to be better because of this. 2026 is a big year. It may not seem like it, but 2026 is going to be a huge year. And you all started off on the right foot. You all are starting off on the right foot. Trust me. In 6 months, y'all going to be totally different. In 12 months, a whole different person. I'm telling y'all. It's going to happen rapidly. And this 90-day challenge should be a lifetime. We should always be striving to be better. Being a better leader, being a better man, being a better father, being a better husband, being a better man of God. We should always strive to be better. Listen, I love y'all, and I'll see y'all soon. Thank you.